It's now time immediately to welcome to the show Zack Newmark from the NL Times.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Very good, thanks.
So tell us, were you affected by the big power outage?
Well, we had a little bit of the flickering lights at home, a little flickering lights at the office, but by and large, we were much luckier than the other million locations that were hit by the power outage. And that includes all of the trains and the airports.
It's pretty incredible. I always thought that our electricity grid is very reliable.
It is very reliable. But this one situation in Diemen, it just snowballed, and it was a substation that went out. They had a redundancy, but it kind of failed. And with the backup system going down, now they're just trying to figure out what exactly went on and what happened.
I have to say that I was actually happy because it happened to me, and I just quit my day work for a while, right?
Yeah, and then there I was, crashing out story after story about the power outage.
About skipping work, and that's something that the city of Amsterdam is trying to stimulate. It's quite the contrary, isn't it?
No, indeed. The VVD, one of the parties that makes up the city council, is now pushing forward a plan called I Host Amsterdam, which joins the iAmsterdam program, and it would put volunteers and job seekers to work as guides for tourists around the city.
And they do it for free?
It would be done for free. It would be done to get experience interacting with customers for people who maybe want to work in hotels, things like that. It's kind of an interesting idea that they're putting forward.
I think it's funny is like if you're one of these tourist guys, you can say, well, when I didn't have a job, this is the bar where I used to hang out all the time.
Yeah, but what they're really hoping for is people who do have, extensive knowledge about Amsterdam, who are enthusiastic about Amsterdam. They're trying to replicate this thing that's been done in Den Haag and that's been done in Toronto.
But this is unpaid. So what about paid work? Is there any paid work arranged?
Yeah, so there's this hotel that's going to be docking in Amsterdam. It's a floating hotel. It's a boat. It's a boat.
Right.
It's going to dock at the Westerdock, and it's going to bring in about 100 jobs. All unemployed people in Amsterdam, all who are looking for more work.
Excellent.
It's good stuff.
Very positive on the city. One thing that surprised me tremendously was last week was the whole squatter situation in the Spuistraat.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, I was down there for the entire day, huddled up with all the journalists in front of the bunga
still
house.
In one piece, though.
Still in one piece. We were getting paint bombs thrown at us left and right. The police kept moving us backwards. Yeah. If it wasn't paint bombs, they were throwing out fireworks or they were throwing out flares. It's a set of buildings called the Tabakspanden that have been squatted for, something like 4 decades or so. It was crazy.
Crazy. Do we have some a video maybe on what went down there? Because, Zack was basically risking his life. There's a photo here, Zack. This is the building?
Yeah, so as they were throwing out flares and as they were throwing out paint bombs, the police were shooting water cannons, very high pressure to try to knock people off and knock people back, rather. And at the end of the day, it was pretty impressive that none of the police got hurt, none of the squatters got hurt, 19 people were arrested. The whole operation took about 10 hours or so. Yeah. It was pretty incredible.
What about, I saw this photo in the newspapers of this German tourist couple that they had their hotel there and then they got stuck in the midst of it. What happened there?
Yeah, they were staying in a hotel right across the street and they were coming back to their hotel right when the new crop of squatters came in, pulling up bricks, setting fires on the streets. And they said they were terrified. They were jumping over fires to try to get into their hotel, and then they huddled up. They said it was a very restless night, very loud on the street. And then I ran into an Indian tourist, a woman who was staying on the same street, and she said that she didn't realize it was Amsterdam. It was so noisy, she felt like she was at home.
That's brilliant. So maybe all these tourists, they should go to the town of Giethoorn, because that is the next international town in the Netherlands.
The next hotspot in the Netherlands.
What is that all about?
Well, Amsterdam made it on to the new Monopoly World Edition board, the Monopoly Here and Now edition, but also getting one of the wildcard spots at this small little village of 2,500 people called Giethoorn.
Do we have a photo of this small village?
They call it the Venice of the North.
So how did it end up there?
So one of the local residents there heard about this push by Monopoly for people to vote in. He nominated his own town. RTL Late Night picked it up and got very enthusiastic about it, and they rallied the whole town together.
That's amazing.
Got spread viral into China's version of Twitter and Facebook. And
so everybody voted, or what?
Everybody voted, and then there wasn't a limit about how many times you could vote. So all the people in the town were voting 10 to 50 times a day, trying to get it on, and they ended up getting their tiny little town on the board right next to Madrid.
Fantastic. That's so funny. Okay, well, we have to go then now. Zack,
indeed.
Will I see you again in the new season?
I hope so.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Zack
you very
Newmark
much.
from NLTimes.nl.